Now, Ready, Willing, and Able is our next coaching tool, and it's really fantastic for shrinking the goal or the habit down to a level that the client can actually achieve. Because what a lot of clients want to do is they want to impress us as their coach. They want us to think that they're willing to do each and every single thing under the sun to do this. And what happens is they often don't achieve those goals because they're promising too high. So Ready, Willing, and Able breaks the goal down to the level the client is. So the first one is to really identify, is the client is ready to do this? So let's use the alcohol example from the last video. So are you ready to change? Are you actually ready to stop drinking for the next 6 months? And ideally what we want to do is we want to find out if they're committed to now making that change. And we really want that to be a 9 or 10 out of 10 to get that done. Because if it's a 6 out of 10, they're not going to succeed. It's as simple as that. Okay. If they recognize the need for change and willing to take action, this is the point to do this. So if they're not ready to take change, they might be overwhelmed by the size of the change. They might be overwhelmed by everything else that's going on in their life. You can then find out what's going on. What's pushing you away from making this change right now? Oh, it's a really big one, or I've got so much going on. They're going to be the common responses that you get. Is there anything pulling you towards trying something different? I've been thinking of doing a keto diet or something like that. It indicates that they've got multiple possibilities going on and you need to figure out the right one. Now, are they willing to change? If someone's willing to do that, okay? So unwillingness comes from seeing the current behavior as a form of reward or emotional comfort. So with alcohol, are you ready to make a change? Yeah, I need to do something. Are you willing to cut out drinking totally? Oh, I'm not sure. So I really like it at parties, etc. Okay. This is a good time to explore what's going on there and if it's fulfilling an emotional need, which can help you then craft a better alternative strategy. So with this, like a question, what role does this food or behavior, like drinking alcohol, play with your emotional and social life? And you'll find out what's going on there really, really quickly. And then the last one, are they able to make the change? Logistical constraints. Huge one that a lot of people aren't aware of. So I'm going to use the example of a single mother, 2 kids, working 2 jobs. Okay. Struggling to lose weight, eating out all the time or eating really a lot of fast food. Notice that they're really ready to make a change. They're sick of how they feel. They're willing to do what it takes and they're setting a meal prep. But are they actually able to do that with the time they have? Okay. It's a really important question. Or training 5 days a week. Are you actually able to get to the gym 5 days a week, working 2 jobs and taking care of 2 or 3 kids? Probably not. Okay. So with willing and able, people who are willing and able, but they aren't, ready and willing, but aren't able to make a change are really heartbreaking because they want to do it, but there's just too much in the way right now. So what we have to do is shrink the goal again for those people to make it easier. So instead of 5 workouts a week, how is 3? Are you able to do 3? Yes, I can fit 3 in. Where is that? And you're actually looking at doing this from literally a logistical point of view. Can they fit this stuff into the day and the time that they have? Now, exploring the barriers, you can also look at what's preventing them taking action. So asking a little bit more deeper questions if they are a little bit resistant to the change that they come with, that may be something that we need to consider for that. But generally, ready, willing, and able are the best ways to do this. So again, I like to ask the client at the end, how confident do you feel in the ability to make this change? Are you ready to do it? Are you willing to do it? Are you able to do it? And then what will make this change easier or harder to commit to is a good way to shrink that goal. So it's a really simple thing to do it. And from there, you get the client to map it out. What specific steps, what support or resources do you need? So what we want to do is eliminate chance. Okay. We want to eliminate chance as much as we can. And we want to make sure we take advantage of everything else for that. So if someone wants to, improve their exercise to 5 days a week, we've shrunk the goal down to 3 because of their logistics. Fantastic. So what specific steps will you need to start to make this change? I'm going to need to book the workouts in, make sure I've got care booked for these times. Cool. What support or resources do you need to make this feasible? Cool. Well, I need to have the care booked 3 weeks in advance, for example. Whatever it is, it's basically creating the full strategy to get the client to do that. As soon as you've done this, you've basically developed a really good format. So you've got the ready, willing, and able. So if they've recognized the need for change, if they're willing to change, have dealt with the emotional resistance, they've got the practical limitations sorted out, they've looked at any barriers towards the resistance. A lot of the time it's not feeling confident. They're ready 100%, and then you've designed a plan that actually takes into account all the resources necessary. Then you're going to get your clients making some really awesome changes.